Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me again today, and this story comes from Sheffield. We've got two stories in this episode. And firstly, we've got to pay respects to the victim of the quadruple stabbing in Sheffield on the 8th of August. This was on Saturday. He has been named as Mr Ramsay, a 35-year-old male. And the police statement at the time was that there was alerted to large-scale disorder outside a house in Horninglow Road in the Firth area at 12:20 on the Saturday. They received reports that a man had been stabbed, and the man was formally identified the day after. They said he received injuries to his upper body and sadly passed away in hospital. A post-mortem examination concluded that he died as a result of that stab wound, and the detective leading the investigation into the death is now urging for witnesses. They said that it was a house party and it happened on the road where the murder did on Friday evening. He said answers to the actual murder lie in the community. So from that you can take that not many people have been helping the police with their inquiries. The police said they are trying to piece together exactly what happened, and they are again asking for any information. 3 men, all aged 24, were treated in hospital and have since been discharged. So 4 people were stabbed and Marcus fatally. South Yorkshire Police spokesman said there will be a high presence in the area for the forthcoming future to reassure people in the local area and around Firth Park. Forensic inquiries were ongoing during the day as well, and they reassured people in the area that this was an isolated incident. But we have covered several different shootings and cases from Sheffield in the past. So we're going to have to follow this story. It could be early days on this story. Some of these stories we can follow for months, even years. But I'm definitely going to keep up to date with that story as well. So rest in peace to Mr Ramsay as well. And condolences to his family. And in the second story of this video, he was intercepted while carrying £5 million worth of Class A drugs. Nabil Chowdhury was sentenced on Friday the 21st of August to 7.5 years in prison, and he was jailed at Sheffield Crown Court. He was sentenced for possessing criminal property and conspiracy to supply Class A drugs between July 2018 and July 2019. He pleaded guilty to both of them offences back in February. He was arrested as part of an intelligence-led operation by the police carried out by detectives from the Met's Specialist Crime Command. Based on information available to them, they said, plainclothes police officers deployed to a petrol station on the A1 near Doncaster in the 20th of July 2019. Shortly after the arrival of officers, Chowdhury arrived driving a van. As he got out, the officers approached and identified themselves. At this point, Chowdhury attempted to escape, fighting the officers as he tried to re-enter the vehicle. Chowdhury initially refused to hand over the keys to the van, but officers managed to obtain them after completing the arrest. An initial search of the van found a purpose-built panelling had been screwed into the rear. On the removal of this panelling, they discovered 45 individually wrapped blocks of cocaine. Each block approximately weighed 1 kilo and totaled 45 kilos of the Class A drug, with an estimated street value of 5.7 million inflated by the police. During the investigation afterwards and an examination of an encrypted phone, so an Encro phone, further evidence was obtained by Chowdhury being involved in the distribution of a further 75 kilos of the Class A drug. So through the encrypted phone, they were able to determine that he potentially had different transactions that amounted to nearly 100 more kilos. Financial inquiries that showed 50 grand of cash deposits were made in a current account that were unaccounted for. On Wednesday the 8th of July, he was further charged with conspiracy to supply Class A drugs and possession of criminal property.
Oh dear. These are all wrapped similarly, black plastic with a Gucci logo and the words Gucci. 1, 2, 3, 43, 44, 45. I made up 45 blocks.
The detective in charge of the case, Glenn Butler, from the Crime Command, said the drugs were being carried in a vehicle that were believed to be destined for the streets of London. There is an undeniable link between drug supply and violence, much of which has been witnessed across the capital in recent months. By intercepting millions of pounds of the drug, they are confident it prevented harm coming to more people and those who chose to visit the city. And with the Gucci stamps, this is very, very common, and also a good way for gangs to identify good produce as well. And most of these will have a Gucci stamp on the actual interior of the actual packaging as well, on the actual product. So it's almost like a bit of a quality control. So I really appreciate you joining me for this episode, and we've got plenty more news on the way. Please pay your respects to Marcus in the comments, and please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And I'll be back again very soon. Peace.